I still have a question when it comes to this number which
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mentioned.
Tell me. Yeah.
Uh, don't mind because I'm not pretty
No,
understandable.
no. It's not a
Uh,
problem. You
yeah.
can ask. Yeah.
See, you mentioned one clustered index, only one clustered index on a table, and 99 non-clustered indexes. So how can we create like more than one non-clustered index on the same table? That is what my question is.
Okay. So let's suppose maybe one table contains like a maybe like 100 plus index columns. Okay. Let's suppose we
All right.
have a
Okay.
okay. Let's suppose in for this case we have this number of column. Okay. Let me check with some information schema.
Okay.
So some cases, let's suppose as a I have a multiple developer, okay, working. So one developer is searching a customer on basis of employee number, okay, customer ID. One another employee is searching on basis of email ID. Another have a
Okay.
zip code and another have a address. So I'm not
Okay.
saying for the other table, one table you can create one cluster and 999 maximum non-cluster index. So for this case, we have a this number of column. Let me check how many columns are there. So you can go for this view, you can say, and you will get a information here. Table name, I'm going with a, and I want this table only. So let me go with this table. Okay. So you can see how many columns are there on basis of you can say these number of column ordinal position on basis of field gate it's the first column and this was the ninth column. Okay,
Okay.
so for this case let's suppose we have a nine people working and in this table we have a nine column only. Okay, so let me create how many indexes we can create. No one can stop us. Let me go with a design. Okay, I'm going to create one primary key. Okay, it's not a problem, they will not stop me. So maximum one cluster index we can create. Okay, I created one limitation like it's a fix already. Let me
Okay.
go for other. I'm saying like we can create a 999. How we can create? Let's suppose someone search a data on basis of email. Okay, let me write one another query so that you will be understand here. Let me close this and this is okay. Let me close all but this. Okay, let me close but this. Okay, not required. Okay, this is a table we have, and I'm going with a new query. Some cases, one customer came and one customer, not employee or you can say operator came, and they asking to search on basis of customer ID. I'm going with a one. What will happen? Let me go for the execution plan. And if I can select, okay, okay, let me click for the execution. You can see execution plan is created on basis of they are going with this cluster index. Okay. One developer came and they are saying, I want to search a data on basis of different filter condition. Okay. Where email ID, I'm going to write something. Let me check how many. Okay. Email ID is a Jan like or we can say go exact match also. Some people coming with this and let me try to execute this query. And what is happening? What is happening? You can see, let me go with a both in a one shot and you will get some differences. So one table, one query going with an index seek because they are following cluster index. Okay. And how we got to know, you can see when I selected in a tooltip, you can see one object name is there. Let me take a screenshot and I want to place into the paintbrush so that I can show you differences. Okay, are you able to see? So in this table, they are following these constants. Okay, and this is a primary key, whatever we created. You got my point? Let me go for the second. I'm selecting
Yes.
this. Okay. And what they are doing, you can say it's a predicate. In a predicate, let me take a screenshot of those also. And I want to open another paintbrush and place this one. Okay. And they are going with a, you can say they are referring a primary key, but actually they are not going with a index seek. And one another problem is also there. In both case, if we can analyze here, here is a index seek and here is a index scan. Okay. It means if we can compare in a both side, you will get this queries are performing well and this is not performing well. On basis of 50-50% cost, you can say both are same. But here is not they are using a correct indexes to filter email ID on basis of email ID. So for this case, we have to go and create another non-cluster index because you will not able to create one more cluster index because I already say one table we can create a maximum only one cluster index. So you will be not able to create a new cluster index on this table in customer table. So for this case, I already said like you can create one plus one cluster and plus 999 non-cluster index. But you want a good performance cluster index basically. So you want a good performance. So mainly you have to go and create a non-cluster index because you already meet a requirement of one cluster index. So now you have to create a cluster index on basis of this filter condition. So let me create a cluster index. I'm not going with a query. If you want, I can go with a command. You can say wizard only. So I'm closing this and going to indexes. And here I'm creating a new index. And you can see now we can create a non-cluster only. Okay. On which column you want. So you want to filter a data on basis of email ID. I'm going to create one index. Now I'm going to create a one. And here I'm mentioning, okay, so that you'll get a difference here. NCL non-cluster email ID. Instead of I'm putting a IDX short form of indexes. If you want correct naming conventions, basically you have to go and create like a cluster on basis of email. So I'm creating those. Okay, this created already. Now
Okay.
I'm not going to create a like execute here so that because I want to show what is the differences. Let me copy and I'm opening a new window and let me try
Okay.
to execute and let me open the execution plan. Okay, try to hit once again. Now you can see what is the differences here. Okay, basically you can see they are saying same index, they are going with the index scale. But let's suppose I want to hint, I want to go with the index, whatever indexes I create with index. And I want to force whatever index I created this one. So let me place here. Okay, and try to hit this. Okay, are you able to see something? Here is a index seek. Here is also index seek. Okay, let me change something here. I'm going to email and I'm copying this query and placing here because I converted this into the seek and now try to check what is the differences here. Are you able to see something? You
Clustered
know,
and non-clustered.
so both are calling. One is a non-cluster falling, another is a cluster is falling. But you can say both are going with a seek only. And I already explained if you are we have a three option. Mainly you have to focus while like exploring your plan. First, table scan. You know. Second, index scan. I'm going with a label something label. You can say low performance to high performance. Here is a index 6. These are criteria while analyzing execution plan. If you are going with a table scan, so let me remove a primary key and try to go once again. Same table I'm referring customer table only. Going to like a design and let me remove this key. Okay. What happened? It's not okay. It's not okay. Okay. Let me remove. Okay. I am removing this one. Okay. So let me try to select same statement. What is happening? What is happening? Could you please tell me?
A
Index
table
table
scan.
scan. It means if your table does not have a cluster index, it means this table is a completely heap table. It's a heap table only because cluster index is not there. You will get a most of the bad performance. Okay.
Okay.
Next case. I'm going with the same statement with this. You can see now. It's a index C for now also. Okay. Let me go for remove this non-cluster.
Okay.
I'm going with a removing this. Okay, okay, let me refresh. I already removed, but it's showing already. Okay, I'm removing this one also. So basically you can analyze what is a issue is happening. Let me remove because index is already removed. So I'm not hinting a indexes here. I'm selecting this. You can see it's a table scan, all the cases. If I can create a cluster index, so after that you have to see, you have to correlate what is happening. I'm going to primary key. It means by default they will create a cluster index. Okay. If you can let me explain. Open here. If I can refresh this table, you can see nothing is there. Okay. And now I'm creating a primary key. Just I want to save this. Recording is started or not, or I forget to record. Oh my god. Okay, recording is going on. Okay, let me save this one and let me execute this first one statement. And now you'll see, and I'm going with the same both in a one shot, one go. You can see
Index scan and
in
table
the
scan.
index seek and index scan because this filter condition we don't have any indexes. So now I'm going
Non-cluster.
to create a non-cluster index. And after that
Okay.
one step, I will also explain. This is the most important thing for you. Let me
Okay.
refresh and I'm going to create a non-cluster. This is a very like a straightforward one. I
Okay.
I want to add you. I already replicated initially. I'm going with this. And if I can go once again, you will get a same index again. Yeah. Here is a index. Okay. Index seek is there because I selected all. I selected only one column. Let me go with this one. You can see they are going with a scan here, index scan. Okay. And if I will follow only this email ID because I created index non-cluster on basis of this column. So if we can select both are going with the same direction. Yeah. But let me go with another statement because last time I reproduce and you will get some different execution plan. I want to hint what is the indexes I want to go for. So let me hint here with it means I'm forcing a SQL you can say to go with this plan only. Follow with this index only. So basically I'm forcing here and after that I'm trying to execute what is the issue is having. So you can see here is seeing like it's you can see they are selecting a all column. Okay, let me go with a star all. For a star condition, it means I'm going with a all column in a both table set. Here is a index seek, but here is a index seek along with a key lookup. Okay, key lookup. This is also expensive. You can see if you can compare what is the difference between the both performance. First is a 33%, second is a 67%. You are getting this? It means we have to focus this query. This query is not performing well. So if you can check here, you can see we have a two part, 50% or 100%. It means this part we have to fix, because whatever index we created, those index does not have this column. What column they are selecting here? You can say first name, last name. You can see in a screenshot output list, DBO bot something. So we have another condition called covering index. Let me explain some covering index. Maybe you have seen while hinting at indexes, I'm creating some covering index. So I'm creating one additional indexes, create clustered index. IDX, I'm going with the email with cover all. Cover all. Basically, I'm putting a name, whatever name you want, on basis of you can add. On which column I want to go for? This one. On create cluster index on this one, column email ID. I said like we have to go for the email, but we have to include all the columns basically. Includes whatever column we are looking for the selection. So let me check how many columns I already executed one as schema command. So let me capture all. Okay. And let me paste here. Cluster index is already covered. Okay. Email is already covered because in this indexes I already added. I want to add a filter like a cover on this one. So let me delete this. Okay. Create cluster indexes. I think indexes I miss. Okay. This is a, and I'm going to remove whatever non-cluster initially I created. Okay. So let me drop. So next in current state, what I'm going to do, I'm adding a cluster index on this column and covering all these column, whatever additional column I want to select. Okay. So I want to create. Okay. And let me go and execute this same query. And I'm removing this filter. This filter is not required because I already removed this indexes. And let me try to execute. And you can see your plan now. Are you getting this? So whatever lookups are there, now lookups are not there. Okay. Because whatever column required for the, because whatever column I want to select, because I put a star. If you want only two column, so basically you have to create a covering index with two column only. You got my point? Let me explain once time more
I
basically.
got it. I
Let
got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Arun, do you have any query? Let's suppose I'm going
Yes.
to remove this query, remove these indexes. Okay. And for this query, I want first name, first name, and now I want last name. Okay. And if I can go for this one and same query, let me add this part in this query. Okay. In both query, you can say it's a scan and this is seek because we don't have any indexes. Let me create a whatever last time I created. I'm going to create a non-cluster on email only. Okay. And if I will execute one key lookup will happen. And this is an expensive process. It's a scan and let me add a index hint with index, whatever index I want to use. I want to use this one. Okay. And let me try to select here. You can see now key lookups are there. Basically, they want to populate ename. Okay, ename is already there. Let me add a ename first after this in a both case. So that email is already part of those indexes, so that will not create a problem. But if you will add additional column, that will go for the key lookup. You can see here is no problem. And here you can see basically they are trying to look up only two columns. Okay. So, you can see first column output predicate output list. You can see first is a first name and second is a, you can say, last name. Basically, they are trying to select. Okay, only two columns output they are generating with the help of key lookup. Okay, so let's suppose you want to fix this problem. So what you have to do, you have to edit this if you want to, you can edit, and if you want to delete, you can delete. So let me edit this indexes. I have include column, whatever code I wrote into the query. Same thing, you have to add here. You want to select two columns, first name and last name. You can add and once again try to execute your query. What will happen? You can see whatever key lookups operation or it's a operation, it's removed. You can see here. So basically, we are removing whatever column you want to select. You have to add into the include. And this is a covering index. Basically, covering means what? Whatever query we are executing, those query is covered with these indexes, whatever index I mentioned here. And some cases, let me explain one another point. Let me remove this. I'm not forcing now, and I'm going with a normal. What will happen? You can see by default now they are selecting. Now they got a best indexes instead of index scan. You got? Because whatever query I'm executing here, this query already covered with this in non-cluster index. Okay, you are getting this point.
Yeah.
If you can,
I have a quick question here.
yeah, tell me.
So, to mitigate this issue, so why can't we like say when a developer or someone is creating a table, let's say like somewhere around like 20-25 columns, okay?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
while creating a table here, the developer can go with a non-clustered index based on the columns, number of columns.
yes,
So
yeah.
in that scenario, we can mitigate this, the scan. Always it will go with index seek. The performance will also be good, and we don't get to see these key lookups and all, right?
Yeah,
We
key,
can
yes,
mitigate
yes,
this issue.
yes, yes, yes. Key lookup or some cases. Let me explain here. Some cases you will get a key lookup. It means it means you have a primary key. Primary key is there. Okay. Some cases you will get a RID lookup. Okay, two lookups you will get, and these lookups operator are degrading your performance. So RID lookup mainly we are getting for the cluster index, and here we are getting for the non-cluster index. So basically for both cases, solution is covering index. It means you have to go for the include. Okay. So whatever column you want to filter, you have to go for the on condition. Whatever column you want to select, you have to put into the include. Let's suppose I'm going with a different. Okay. Let me add one additional column. Maybe let me try to see how many columns are there. Okay. Okay. Here is your column detail
Is it like having more number of indexes on a table will hamper the performance?
of writing performance basically. Writing
Okay.
performance. But let's suppose we have a different reporting server. Okay. So if you have
Hmm.
another reporting server, so you can create a how much like a indexes, how much performance you are as like a expecting from the like a SQL. You can create a indexes. Let me go for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to okay. Let me execute. Okay, I added a phone number, and now you can see problem here. They will create once again. Some cases they will go for the indexes scheme, and if you are forcing a indexes, they will go for the lookups. And once again, lookup they will say, oh, we don't have a um, you can say phone number into the covering index basically. If I can place here, and you can see what is the differences here. Okay, here is a key lookup, and now key lookup only for one column, phone number, output list. Are you able to see? After object, let me take a screenshot and I can show you here. So if we can, okay, what happened?
Uh, Mr. Rajesh, your voice is not audible. Only we can see your video.
Okay, now it's fine.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. So basically, if you can see here, uh, let me take a screenshot, and after that, let me try to paste here. In here is the point. Basically, you have to focus, nothing to worry. So in output column, they are explaining to us this column is not available, and due to this column, they are going for the key lookups. Okay, because when we created indexes, this non-cluster index, we added only first name and last name. Okay, so if we
Correct.
can add here include column, another column in future, phone number, you will get a good performance. Yeah. So basically, on basis of your utilization, on basis of query states, you can go and check and fix your index problem.
Okay.
And one
Okay.
another problem, don't create a multiple indexes on OLTP server. If you are creating a multiple indexes on OLTP server, it means writing like a you can say writing performance you are going to degrade basically.
Okay.
So for reporting server, you can create how many on basis of your, and let's suppose I created one indexes. If I will selecting only three column, okay, they will not ask us. They will go for the good performance here also. If I will go with a one column also, they will go with a, so instead of creating a multiple indexes, separate indexes, you can add your column into the same indexes. You got my point? But
Right.
whatever I did here, same case, you have to go and on basis of utilization of your column, you have to add your column here. Let's suppose some column like a time stamp, created it, modified it, we are not using. So please don't add those column. If we are
Okay.
using frequently, this column we are using frequently, you have to add those column. So whatever column you
Okay.
will be selecting, you will get a good performance instead of creating a two separate indexes. You can go and create another indexes also. They will not ask us. Okay. Let's suppose I'm going to select all, excluding on basis of number I have to select. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to this. I'm creating one another index. Okay. I think I did a mistake here. Let me remove. Okay. I want only filter on basis of zip code, let's suppose, and I want to go and select only first name, last name, email ID, and phone number. Only these information. So instead of creating a separate, you can go and create a same indexes and modify your indexes, existing indexes, so that they will maintain lesser. Okay.
Okay.
And you can
So,
create a 999 because now we created only one cluster and one non-cluster. If you want, you can create. And if you want to test, what you can do, same column, you can create a multiple index. They will not ask us. Let's suppose I created an indexes here. Okay. And I can change a name. They will not ask to create it's a created. And now you can see multiple indexes, two indexes are created here. Yeah.
with a different name.
Yeah, different name. And some cases
Okay.
let's suppose you want to different filter condition. Instead of email, you can go for the phone number. Okay. On basis of utilization, you can create.
Okay.
It means instead of two, you can create a 999. But this pattern
Okay.
you have to follow on the reporting server instead of OLTP server.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
So
So when
Arun,
you say covering index,
yeah,
yeah, when you say covering index, you mean like I understood practically. I mean theoretically, like adding the non no clustered indexes based on the query.
yeah.
Okay.
So on what is a covering index basically? Covering index basically covering your whatever query we are trying to execute into the SQL.
Okay.
Complete selected statement. Basically, what is happening into the query? One is a filter. First, we have to go for the how many column you want to select. Okay,
Right.
selecting a column, selection of column. You can say selection of column, and second filter condition. Maybe some cases let's suppose I want customer ID is 10 and email ID is something. It means we have to add two filter condition. Let me explain this is also. Like let's suppose I have a one query and I want to go for, okay, customer table, and where email ID start with like something someone is saying J, okay, I want another condition I want along with same, and uh, pin zip codes I think here zip code is something, okay. So let me check how many record are there. On basis of we can set our query. So you can see here is a some 97. So let me edit so that we can make a similar some record into the both section. So just copying this pin code with this one. Okay, let's suppose instead of 3, I'm going to 1. Okay, so let me close this one. And I have to go for the zip code like start with 1 1. Let's suppose this is a criteria. Okay, so how we can create your like a indexes and we'll get a good performance on the reporting server or whatever server. So basically they are going with a scan. So this is not a good performance. And here I want only, you can say uh, customer ID, and I want first name. Basically, I have to call only as a customer care executive, they want to call. So they need this information. And I want to phone number and email ID. If like a email ID and phone number. So this is the information required. So you tell me what should be best practice to create a indexes. Okay, here is a, you can say, here they are saying it's a index seek only. You can see, because whatever we created, I think we already created this column with the indexes they are going with. But if you can go with a star all instead of those, you can see what is happening here. It's going with the index scan. But now you have to create a one indexes, and those index can help you to go with a index seek. So how you can create? So first, okay, let me go here. Basically, predicate is this one. Predicate. First, you have to focus predicate. It means filter condition. It means whatever column you are to going to create an indexes, this column should be part of predicate. And whatever column selecting, it's a part of include. So let me create a indexes here. So it's a straightforward only. And now you can correlate whatever we did for indexing.
Okay. Okay, you're trying to say that whatever we can see in predicate,
You have
those
to
columns doesn't have the clustered indexes.
yes, or you have to create a cluster in a non-cluster index on the filter, because last time
Oh,
you can see here. Okay, let me script out so that you can correlate. Here we added an email ID. Okay, so email
okay.
ID you have to add here two predicate. In predicate section you have to add your column like a zip code.
Oh,
Okay, and
oh,
whatever column you are selecting you have to add. It means this index will cover this query completely 100%. You got my point?
oh. I got it.
Indexes and IDX. Let me go for the email plus zip. Okay, on we have to go for this one and this column and this column. This is a predicate. You know this filter condition is a
Mm.
predicate, and
Okay.
include basically you have to mention whatever column you are expecting. So basically you are selecting a all column. So you have to exclude only this column and place all the column. So I think where I have, okay. So all the column, okay, let me close. This is not required. In query, I selected a column detail. So we have only 4 minutes. Okay, let me close. Maybe you'll get, okay, this is a column. You have to copy this and you have to paste here. What a column I added into the filter, just remove those. This is not required. I'm going to add a here, you can say comma is required. So I want to filter on basis of predicate email and Jeep. Just
Email
comment
input.
this. Yeah, comment this line. This is not required. And cluster index we already cover. So let me go for the removing of this column and this column and includes have some mistakes. Include
Customer ID.
no include whites includes I mentioned okay or customer ID is already covered into the primary key, so no need to create.
Primary.
Yep.
Yes.
So this is not required. But let's suppose you don't have a primary key. For this case, you have to create those column also. Okay.
Okay.
Create this. Okay. And now try to hit those. Where is a query hour? Like a statement. Okay, this one. Try to hit this and see this. Are you getting this?
Yes.
So this is a good. And if you are executing whatever query, it's a smaller or bigger. You can see cost is 100%. Okay. But
Okay.
if we procedure have 100 query, okay, and 100 query into the one procedure, so let's suppose you have to segregate which query is consuming high like a cost. So on basis of each and every percentage you will get a comparison. So let's try to copy this and I'm executing here. So if you can compare which queries are expensive for now, so you'll get to 33%, 33%, 33%. You know, this is a very expensive, but this is also consuming equivalent to all. Okay.
Yes.
And if you are going for the some additional filter here, maybe you'll get some different, like I'm going with a phone number, sorry, and some performance impact will be get. Okay, I'm adding something, I don't know what should be value, and I'm selecting all. And let's see what is the difference here. Now is the same because customer is already there here. So some cases, like what is I want to say here. Let's suppose I don't have a proper indexes. So it means you will get some difference here, maybe 48%, and two case you will get a 30 or 20%, something like that. So on basis of each query set, you'll get to know which query we have to focus for the tuning. So this is a
Okay.
main concern I want to explain here.
Okay.
So
So, okay.
yeah, tell
I
me.
heard from someone who used to say we shouldn't go with the cost. We should only go with the logical and physical read of not the table.
So basically, if we have a time, we can explain here. Let me try to explain. Basically, when we are creating a plan, when SQL is relational is creating a plan, they have a three parameter mainly. So we have to
Okay.
focus. We can't consider only one parameter. First, like you can say execution time should be low. Execution time. Okay. Second,
Okay.
IO. It means whatever you are saying, like writing and reading cost. Okay.
Right.
And then one is called subtree cost basically. So basically they are
Okay.
considering a three parameter and on basis of there, they are storing a cache into the plan basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So for today we are going to like a stop. If any query, please ask in between like a weekday also. Yeah.
Okay, PM.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh.
Okay.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv.
Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Have a good day.
Yeah. Same to you. Bye.